a little bit of therapy for everybody involved. It was meant to be the payback of 9 years ago, the Mick McCarthy sacking that ensued after the 5-1 loss at Molineux, double relegation, then back in the big time, only to stupidly go and throw away a 2-1 lead. And then I went on Twitter after the game, which was a huge mistake.
Stupid.
Just let's start with the starting 11, Harry. The team on paper is strong enough to beat West Brom.
Oh, yeah. The team was, well, we were banging the drum of having Catrone start over Fabio Silva, wasn't we? But he was man of the match for us. So we were wrong about that. Took his goal really well. But I don't know, man. Like, how many times we said last week, how many times we're going to go 1-0 down? We did it again. It's debatable whether it's a penalty. And I know it's like sour grapes, an easy excuse, but the rule that they've literally only got to be touching the line with their foot when they get tackled and it's a penalty, it's just mental. But anyway, Bolly was clumsy. Traore was at fault for that goal as well because he just was pissing about on the edge of the box. Don't know what he was doing. But then we go 2-1 up, and at half time, I'm dancing around this little box I'm in saying, I've had 4-1 Wolves on, lads. I've had a 5 on it. We're going to cruise to the win. Let's just not do what we did against Brighton and come out and concede 2. And that's what we did. And it was an absolute disaster. It was as simple as that. It was just so bad beyond belief because Albion are the worst team in the league as well.
Bayliss, where do you start?
I think you start with the second half because that's where Wolves started to show their true colours at the moment, which is frankly embarrassing. I think no player can come off that pitch and look at themselves and think they gave it their all there. I don't think we registered a decent shot in the second half. I mean, there's all this moaning we can do, right? It's very simple to sit here as football fans and go, oh, the penalty was outside the box and their defender caught one and it should have been a penalty. But if you watch that game in the round, I don't think I can honestly say Wolves deserve to win it. I thought we were piss poor in the second half. Really piss poor. And fair play to the Albion. Exactly what we thought a Sam Allardyce team had come and do and did a real job on us. And the problem is it keeps happening by every other manager, every other week. Wolves get a job done on them because the kids can't handle it and our so-called senior players are not doing what they need to be doing to win us games.
I want to play you a clip of Sam Allardyce.
Like I said, second half changing the shape was the big thing and playing forward quicker. All this tippy-tappy stuff, everybody keeps going about the right way to play football is all a lot sometimes. So getting the ball in the opposition's box as quickly as you can with quality and getting it forward and in behind the opposition is definitely sometimes the best way forward, and that's what we did in the second half, and that's why we won the game.
That is a clip of Sam Allardyce from 2015 after a 3-0 win for West Ham against Hull. Jack, why is it such a shock that a Sam Allardyce team is going to do exactly that?
Because I know it's a Sam Allardyce team, but it's also made up of West Brom players who have been just letting in goals for fun. So just because you change the manager, you don't think suddenly it's going to... I know they ground out results at Liverpool and stuff like that, but they've also been battered by average teams, in my opinion. So we've laid 3 goals at home against West Brom. That's not good enough. I know 2 of them were penalties, and I know one of them was debatable as to whether it even was a penalty. But what are we doing? I mean, at half-time, I agree with the guys. You think the game's won. Silva's done his best half of football that I think I've seen him play. It's game management again. And game management is not then come out in the second half, concede a goal to a long throw. It's just like the most basic rubbish defending. And then Cody gives away a penalty. Like, what sort of game management is that? It's just shocking. And we didn't really create enough, even when we were chasing the game. I know Catrone had that one shot, which he spewed over the bar. But apart from that, was there anything really? It's just a really, really poor performance. And it's worrying that we've let in 3 goals at home to a team that other teams have been going to the Hawthorns and smashing them to 0. It's just not good enough, particularly with the team we had out. Because we were worried in midweek, we were worried that they were going to do us because of the injuries we had. But the first 11 we got out there was pretty good. I think everyone was happy. And I just don't know what's going on at the moment.
Harry, we're talking about Morgan Gibbs-White, and obviously having been recalled from his loan spell at Swansea earlier, he's a a Staffordshire boy. He knows what the Black Country Derby means to both sets of fans, and I don't know if whether he's not good enough or whether he was thinking about the Black Country Derby so much that he forgot we were playing in gold.
Yeah, but
which one is it?
I don't bloody know. But with Gibbs White, mate, there's a bigger issue going on around him, which I know we'll get onto later in his bloody tweets and things like that. And I think that his tweets and that, what we will get onto, tells me there's something seriously wrong going on in the club. Connor Cody getting subbed off with 20 minutes to go. My jaw nearly hit the floor. I couldn't believe it. Yes, he was shocking. There's no doubt about it. But Nuno has never done that. Like, he never drops Cody or pulls him off or anything. And you could see the shock on his face. And when something like that happens and Nuno is just sat on the bench, slumped in his seat, you know something is seriously wrong in that squad. Something's happening. And they're very private. We never know exactly what's going on, but something's seriously going on within the squad. Morgan Gibbs-White liked to tweet on about Bolly laughing with Sam Allardyce at the end of the game. You know, he's literally having a little dig at one of his own teammates there. And it's just no harmony. Defensively, they're defending like kids. It's just absolutely devastating and shocking. They've let us down. It felt like half that team didn't know how much this game means to the fans. And we've been a laughing stock. I've become a fucking meme on Twitter because of the way I reacted on bloody YouTube videos and that. And then you got Morgan Gibbs-White with his little girlfriend liking tweets saying they want to go back to Swansea. Go back to Swansea, I'll drive you there.
But obviously
don't sit on the fence, Harry.
And how worrying is it? Because the point was made, taking Cody off, I think everybody was dumbfounded by that. Not because Cody's had a bad performance. He's had bad performances before and stayed on the pitch and played every single minute of Premier League seasons. It was the fact that there was no leadership left on the pitch because Neves wasn't on it. He's vice captain. Moutinho, who's the most experienced player on it, wasn't there either. And you're finishing the game with a bunch of kids that really have nobody to feed off or gain some experience off.
You have to say at 3-2 down when you're trying to win a game, then who else do you take off than a centre-back to try? You know, it doesn't matter if you lose 4-2, it's still a loss. So the choice there was probably Bolly or Cody, or else you're losing everything going forward. But what we did bring on didn't really do much anyway. I think Catrone got 12 minutes to try and grab himself a goal.
Well, he should have scored.
I mean, the one thing that keeps baffling me, though, is we just bring on Catrone as soon as we've gone down. It's never when we're level or winning. It's we've been crying out for it, and where you bring him on when we're chasing a game. And
you say that. Watch that game, and which defender did you take off if you're trying to push for a win out of the two? Bolly had 6 shots. He had more shots than any forward.
Personally, I'd take off Sace and move into mid. Well, sorry, take off Moutinho.
Moutinho was shocking when he
Sace up into midfield. Yeah,
he was shocking, and he hasn't been the best this season, has he? Really? I think
that's the whole point of Sace, isn't it? Is that he's this utility man that's supposed to save the day, and why is he staying in defence? If we need to push on,
it's been our
take off for the
best goal threat lately.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but just push him at the.
I just don't get how the team that finished the first half came out and played like they did in the second. I cannot understand it.
Complacency.
And you've got to remember as well, when we were 1-0 down, can you remember Callum Robinson when he had that chance? Nearly put him 2-0 up as well. Yeah. So, like, even though we did do well to go 2-1 up in the first half, we could have been 2-0 down. Yes, he did catch that penalty. Like, we probably should have had that. Well, definitely should have. But you can't keep making these excuses, can you? Because the whole round performance is not good enough. So making these little excuses about VAR is old, isn't it?
The question I have to ask is what was said in the halftime team talk? Was it either these lot of shit, let's go and pan them, and everyone got complacent? Or was it, right, we're going to sit in and do nothing now for a half and then ended up 3-2 down quickly? Like, what was the conversation that went on between those group of people that know each other all pretty well now, take aside the kids, but how do you capitulate so quickly? So quickly. We were so dominant in the last 15 minutes of that first half. To then go and just not turn up for 45 minutes, really. You know, get done by a long throw. Fuck, Jesus. We've got Willy, Bolly and Cody in the middle who are both good headers, physical players of the ball. That's the two centre-backs that should be playing. And get caught out by a flick on and a free header. Jesus. And the penalty's daft.
Another thing that shocked me as well, mate, this was like...
Bad defending, not a lot in the middle, and fuck all up front. Takes some doing that.
After Nuno's comments in his press conference Friday, and I think Aaron said it on last week's podcast. I thought we were going to go back to a 5 at the back, put Cody as sweeper. I know it's kind of negative against Albion, but because the game was so important and we've been so bad at the back, I thought we'd just go for like the 3-4-3 or whatever you want to call the formation and stay solid and try and nick a few goals, which we probably would have done. But even with a 5 at the back at the moment, I don't know if I'd feel safe with the way everyone's the form the defenders are on. So
Harry,
that's what will happen.
I wouldn't feel safe at the moment if they built a fucking brick wall on the goal line.
It's just so depressing.
I agree. I think when we're shipping goals, and I'm sorry if in 2 games you let in 6 goals against Brighton and West Brom, that ain't right, is it? You've got to sort something out there. I don't care about VAR penalties, and if you have to revert to the tried and tested 5 at the back, which got us 2 7th-place finishes, then do it. But I don't know. I agree in that there's something just not quite right there. The bad body language was wrong, and just the response after going 3-2 down was just the complete opposite of what it should have been.
Jack, we now have the worst form record in the league. Even the team that have won 1 game have a better form record than us that are sitting rock bottom.
You mentioned